It's right about in there.
Yeah.
Nasty, near Harveysburg. And it's moving east at like 55 miles an hour. So as you mentioned earlier, these systems are, on the northern side of this whole weather system. And so it's more transient in terms of the velocity signatures.
Yeah, they may not be lasting forever. This one has been showing up a little bit longer.
It has.
Not seeing, that perfect couplet at this point, but what we're definitely seeing are some wind gusts here now around this area. Very, very heavy rain and that blast of wind. But earlier, pretty good looking area of rotation. Now we look to the south. You can see this little appendage here. And Dr. Knabb, we've started to see another kind of well-defined area of rotation show up down around here. So north of Pratt Road, I would imagine this is only 5 miles away from the radar, but you look at, this on the velocity and you're going to see that area of spin, sure enough, right there to the north of Pratt Road.
Yeah, so we've got a pair of velocity signatures that are just a few miles away from the actual radar. So we're getting a look at the low-level rotation of the mesoscale cyclone, and that is extremely concerning.
Yeah.
And again, given how quickly eastward both of these are moving, there could be, damage paths that are relatively narrow, but are just running in parallel to one another as they go east at 55 miles an hour.
Yeah, and for those of you watching who go, well, wait, why does the proximity to the radar make a difference? Because the radar, it's a beam, so it's going to angle up. The closer you are to the radar itself, you're getting a view lower in the storm. The farther away you get, the higher the beam is. So you may be looking at rotation higher in the upper levels, but Dr. Knabb, 5 miles away, this is pretty a low-level look, or this is a pretty low-level look at that storm.
Yeah, so you're getting a look at the part of the rotating updraft where the updraft is basically starting, and when it holds together that well and it is in space and time coincident with the reflectivity signature, you've got a tornado-warned quality kind of cell, unfortunately, and there's a lot of roads and a lot of people in harm's way, especially given how fast it's moving. That means a lot of communities are going to be affected in just a few short minutes.
Yeah, so Cuba Road, Martinsville Road, obviously Highway 134. Basically, if you are on the south side of Wilmington, you need to be, thinking about where your safe spot is right now. Cuba, I mean, the storm's essentially, in your area. We've got 924 arrival, Morrisville 927. So kids, the pets, everybody needs to be in the basement's the best. If you've got a basement, slam dunk for where you want to be located. We've got more tornado warnings, really north or south of Wilmington. These storms are moving west to east, along with this very strong blast of wind. So up and down the line, we've got warnings for wind. Could see some hail out of this as well, but close to the Wilmington area where you see a little bit more raggedness to the line, that's where we could see some of those spin-ups.
And, if you look to the northeast of where these are, the Metro Columbus area, so the storms are coming to some pretty big metro areas, not just Cincinnati, but before long, Columbus.
Yeah, Cincinnati, the worst of the weather has moved off to your east.
Mopping is hard work, but I thought it was the only way I can get my floors truly clean. And then I...
Up here, and again, same thing, right in that same region. And then we look at the correlation coefficient, which is our debris, and you just, there's definitely something that is going on right here. for sure. For it to close down that hard, for sure. And we're going to take another look here, and this velocity. I hate that there is no way for you to look at these scans otherwise, because it would be great. Wow, what a storm right here. That is just... whoa. This is towards E-Town, Irvington, Hardinsburg. Taking a look here at these temperatures, there is still a ton of warmth for these storms to play with and just really get strong. And it is not what we want to see. Up and down this storm, there is just plenty. And a new tornado warning, watch has been just issued for pretty much the rest of Kentucky. And Tennessee. Let's see here. All over. Let's see here. We're going to take a look here at these watches. yeah, I mean, tornado watch is just up and down here. Take a look at this one right here, down towards these tornado warnings, and you can see. I mean, we just look at this big bunch of tornado watches right here. Severe thunderstorm watches down here. We got a severe thunderstorm warning right there, just to the north of. Yeah, I can't pronounce that. Tons of wind, just up and down this storm. Luckily, it's becoming more of a low pressure, but I mean a cold, mixed front. But golly, you can see this is a cold front colliding hard with these warm temps, and it is not letting up at all. I mean, we look here, get rid of those tornado watches. You can see just a large amount of area just filled with not good things. Okay, we're gonna go back to these and see if we can get another look at the velocity while we are here. Look down here. We may get a good look here. Yeah, there is still something there. This one I think is going to be let to expire. Let's take a look. That'll be done. Yeah, that one's probably going to expire. This one, you can't really make out still. Could be right here, I think. It may be. Still, both just radar indicated on those. Doesn't look like there's much happening there. Take a look at these up here. Radar indicated tornado warning. These are these ones right here. So these have just been updated. Take a look here at this bigger one to the north up towards Port William, Sabrina, Washington Courthouse, those areas. And this one is radar indicated, so it is not guaranteed, but it is very, very likely that there is a tornado here. And that one still has 6 minutes left on it. See what this scans have now that it's a little farther away. Still not showing. I mean, you can see right here, there's probably still one right there you can make out, but this one is not as defined. It's probably somewhere in this region, if anywhere. So, I don't know. For sure, at least. Head back down here towards these. These are not picking it up still. I mean, Elizabethtown is a very, very populated region. Still not much. Ohio, this one has just been updated again. No, there's been another one issued up here.